What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical average American here today to react and learn about the top 10 must-see places in Norway. Now, Norway is already known for being one of the most beautiful, honestly, I describe it as otherworldly, like another planet, especially compared to America. When I see some of the things on YouTube that I've seen about Norway, it boggles my mind. I know how beautiful several of the areas and geographic features around Norway are. So I'm very, very interested and excited to see what the top 10 must-see amazing places in Norway are, because I guarantee you there is nothing like any of these things that I'm ever going to find here in the United States. And that's okay. America has some stuff that's cool, and Norway has other stuff that's really interesting. It just so happens to be, on top of everything that Norway is good at, one of the most beautiful places on the planet. So that's pretty cool. So with that being said, let's take a look. Top 10 must-see places in Norway.
Let's start out with number 10. This one is a true hidden gem called Jettegrytene, and really shows how nature is shaping itself. Throughout thousands of years, a bigger river was located here. However, when a hydropower plant was built upstream, the river partially dried out and the riverbed became visible, showing amazing shapes and textures.
Oh my gosh, was all of this formed by like running water over thousands and thousands of years? And apparently, if the narrator is correct, this was all made possible because a hydro power plant got destroyed and the water shifted and it revealed this incredible, I don't know what you'd even call this lake, this streams. There's little tiny waterfalls.
This place is really only known among locals, which are using it as a natural water park during summertime, and I was able to spend
a natural water park. Can you actually slide on some of these rocks? I have heard of places where the rock is so slippery you can slide on it. You got to be careful not to get hurt, but this looks like that. Everything looks so smooth, and the water is so beautiful and pure.
2 full days here in May without seeing anyone else at the site.
Wow, he went here and didn't find anyone else. This is incredible. Even if you don't jump in and treat it like your own personal water park, it's just beautiful. And it's very, very not very well known by tourists, which is nice. Wow, I like this a lot. This is very obscure.
Next up, number 9 is the Fjord, by many regarded as the most scenic fjord in Norway.
The most unique fjord in Norway, called the, how do you spell it? Narjo Fjord?
In Norway. This UNESCO site is one of your best choices if you want to see a classic fjord that Norway is so famous for.
Yeah, it's just absurd. Like, this is what I'm talking about when I say that Norway is ridiculous. The terrain, the existence of these fjords that carve their way through the mountains, like this is, when I think of Norway and crazy places, this is what I picture, stuff like this. It's absurd. Never seen anything like this in real life, in person, not even close, ever.
Is one of your best choices if you want to see a classic fjord that Norway is so famous for. The mountains rise over 1,000 meters directly up from the ocean, and I strongly recommend you to hike up to a peak for a breathtaking view.
You can hike up it as well. Sometimes I forget that Norwegians actually live here, and you can actually, like, hike it. You can actually visit this when you want to visit it. It's, to me, it's just a far-off fantasy or something.
If you're not feeling fit enough for that, you might also want to take the local ferry driving through the fjord, which is...
There's a local ferry that drives through it. There you go. Like, oh my gosh. Living here, getting to take that ferry, that'd be so crazy.
It's not too bad either. Wow. Number 8 is a true classic, Lofoten. Lofoten is an archipelago
Lofoten
in northern Norway, and is one of the most popular destinations for foreign tourists.
I have heard of this. I know of this. I think I was calling it Lofoten Islands, Lofoten. I have seen this. This is incredible. Especially, I never realized for the longest time that Norway had so many little islands going up and down the coast. Believe it or not, they don't teach us very well in our little American history and geography classes about other countries around the world. So I actually didn't know about all this crazy islands, beautiful little towns.
You might be surprised to find Lofoten so far down on my list, but the substantial increase in visitors over the past couple of years has made the area less charming, in my opinion.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was able to find a YouTube video on the Lofoten Islands, and it has become much more touristy, right? Probably a lot of Americans are kind of ruining everything. Sorry about that.
Still though, Lofoten will offer some of the most impressive landscapes you will ever find anywhere in the world, including natural phenomena such as the Northern Lights and the midnight sun.
Yeah, sometimes I forget about the Northern Lights as well.
Anywhere in the world, including natural phenomena such
like the fact that there are places in Norway where you can see this, the Northern Lights. Like, Norway is truly a wonder on this planet.
just the Northern Lights and the midnight sun.
The midnight sun, the sun that stays up all 24 hours. That's right. It's so many amazing natural phenomenons happening in Norway too. Like, what is up with that?
Next up is number 7, and we're staying in the northern part of the country. Helgeland is a long stretch of coast ranging from approximately Brønnøysund in south to
Helgeland?
Saltede in north. It's featuring a varied coastline with steep mountains, the most turquoise water you can imagine, glaciers, and thousands of small, stunning islands.
Islands? There's actually glaciers? That's so crazy that there's literally places in Norway where you can find glaciers, like Antarctica or something.
Perfect place if you want to go biking, kayaking, or hiking.
Wow.
Number 6 is a place I've spent a lot of time, the Hardanger Fjord.
Hardanger Fjord? I don't think I've heard of this.
If you're going to Norway in May, this is one of the places I would recommend. The area is in fact famous for the fruit blossoming, and in May the whole fjord is covered in beautiful flowers.
Oh wow, that is so fantastic. I love this. I love how the narrator is like a local Norwegian who actually knows, hey, it's not only a beautiful fjord, you can visit at this time of year and actually see this beautiful blossoming of all these flowers. That's like truly local knowledge.
It's often called the spring's most beautiful adventure, and there is no reason to question that statement. Nearby you'll find famous landmarks such as Vøringsfossen and Trolltunga.
I've seen this before. I've seen this. This is like an Instagram picture or something. I think a lot of people go to this to take a picture. What was the other?
Nearby you'll find famous landmarks such as Vøringsfossen.
This? What is this?
And Trolltunga. However, these spots are being run down by tourists, which is taking a bit away from the experience.
I don't mind. I actually like that he is trying to suggest amazing must-see places in Norway that have not been overrun with tourists. This is all mostly stuff I've never ever heard about, which is kinda, I think he's doing that on purpose.
Recommendation is to stay by the fjord and enjoy the fantastic atmosphere.
Wow.
Number 5 is also a bit of a hidden gem called Valdres. I've been lucky enough to spend 2 whole summers here.
Valdres. Oh, look at this.
And I've been photographing this area a lot. I keep getting surprised by how beautiful it is.
This is out of a movie. This could be Lord of the Rings. Frodo could be living in there with the hobbits.
And how many secret spots you can find. It offers a lot during all season with stunning lakes and valleys.
Yeah. I love how green this is. I love the diversity of different geographical locations he's showing. Some that are glaciers, some that are all water. This has lakes and kind of lower mountains with a lot of grasslands, and there's just so many different kinds of geography, all located in Norway. It's unbelievable.
Valdres is also the gateway to Jotunheimen, the home of the highest mountains in Norway.
And okay, of course, he said the highest mountains as well. And if it's winter time, you can find all this frozen lakes as well.
It's often a place people just drive past on the way between Norway's two biggest cities, Oslo and Bergen. However, it's definitely worth a stop.
Oh, okay. So this isn't a big tourist destination. I love that. It's between Oslo and Bergen, and people normally don't even know to stop here and enjoy it. It's probably very, in that sense, you could have a lot of these like private to yourself almost. Your own private mountain range.
And since you already stopped, why not stay a week? Because this area is beautiful. Number
Wow.
4 is Loenvatnet, a picture-perfect lake, just how you would imagine Norway.
Loenvatna, a lake. Okay.
This glacier lake in western Norway is so nice that my last visit, originally thought out to be just a couple of hours, ended up being 4 full days exploring the area.
This is absurd. This is another one I have to just pause it for a sec and be like, this is something Americans might see in a magazine. I mean, this could be the background on your phone or your computer, and I would have been like, oh, that's not real. That's like computer generated mountain. No, it is literally real. Stuff like this exists in Norway. It's beyond beautiful. It's like overwhelming.
Can you imagine a better place to have a swim?
Can you imagine a better place to have a swim? No. No, I cannot. It also looks like such clean water as well.
I have to admit the water was pretty cold, but the surroundings was so beautiful I forgot about it.
Yeah.
Well, almost.
Wow.
And sleeping in a hammock next to the lake wasn't too bad either.
Yeah.
As this is a lake, not the ocean, the water is much calmer, resulting in the surrounding mountains reflecting beautifully in the lake,
Oh my gosh, literally this lake is like a mirror. Like reflecting it perfectly. That is cool how it's a lake. Very, very calm.
making it the perfect place for pictures. And now comes the top 3, which I'm not going to separate. These are 3 very different places in different parts of the country, and all of them offer something unique. So
Okay, so this is the top 3, all equal and different. Top 3 must-see places in Norway. The 7 already have been so ridiculous, I can't even imagine what these are.
it will be a tied first. The first of my favorites is Femundsmarka.
Femundsmarka.
Femund is the 3rd biggest lake in Norway, and Femundsmarka is the surrounding area towards the Swedish border.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen too much stuff highlighted in Norway that's by the Norway-Sweden border. This is the first thing I've heard of.
This is a national park consisting of deep forest, quiet lakes, and polished mountains.
Oh, it's a national park. Okay.
For example, this place is called the Oasis, and it's not difficult to understand why. In the
The Oasis.
middle of a rocky plateau, you can find a small pond with surrounding trees.
That is so cool. This is so cool.
Definitely one of the coolest places I've ever photographed.
Oh my gosh, especially...
And brace yourself for the wild reindeer sneaking up on your tent in the evenings.
Oh my gosh, the reindeer? Like, I know reindeer are common in Norway, but they don't exist in the United States. So, visiting this, honestly, visiting any part of Norway, and seeing reindeer, like, I'd be like crazy. That'd be like a lifetime achievement.
This national park requires a bit of hiking and camping to be seen properly, so be well prepared. But once
This seems like a really, really, really good spot for camping. Like the other spots were kind of on the side of mountains or a lake, and this is just perfect campground, very level, but also beautiful.
you're there, it's probably one of the most peaceful places you'll ever find.
Peaceful.
The second of my top 3 favorites is Varangerhalvøya.
Oh my gosh, Varangerhalvøya. It's like as far north as you can possibly go.
This is a peninsula explored by few, and the national park is situated as far away from everything you can get in Norway, far northeast into the Arctic Ocean.
Yeah, this must be incredibly isolated. I wonder how difficult it is to even travel out to here. He seems to really enjoy the very, very isolated, beautiful, peaceful parts of Norway. I think most Americans would be drawn to the fjords and the lakes and the coast, and this is like a totally different take on beauty. Peaceful, open land where you can camp. Northern Lights.
This place is wild, harsh, and cold, but expect to see sceneries you've never seen anywhere else.
Yeah.
The geological features in this area are extremely fascinating.
Oh my gosh, never mind. Look at this. This is the kind of stuff I have not seen stuff like this in Norway. Actually, this is incredibly unique.
And the texture in the terrain give you eye candy for days. The terrain is
Wow.
ever-changing, from moon-like landscapes to exotic creeks. This is an area I've had to go back to, never regretting it. It will surprise you, and it will be one of the most interesting places you'll ever visit.
I think if you like camping and adventuring, this is the perfect recommendation. It's probably very cold as well, isn't it? It's so far north.
Last but not least, the third of my favorites. Senja is a true paradise.
Senja, this is like a large island in west Norway. Okay.
Although lesser famous than Lofoten further south, Senja has experienced more attention in the past few years.
Oh my gosh, is there a little town nestled in the corner of this enormous bowl-shaped mountain range?
And that's well deserved. In my opinion, Senja offers an even more impressive nature than Lofoten.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. This is ridiculous.
In my opinion, Senja offers an even more impressive nature than Lofoten.
This is it. This is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in Norway. Like, these mountains are shaped, and they go forever. There's so many. They also have green on them, with the perfect sunrise, the water coming in. This is perfect. It's literally perfect.
In my opinion, Senja offers an even more impressive nature than Lofoten. The mountains rise over 1,000 meters up from the ocean. It's a perfect spot for watching the northern lights during wintertime and the midnight sun in the summer.
And it's cool because he said this is a little less popular than some of the other islands, a little less known. But this is one of the most striking visually I've ever seen, ever.
You can find world-class hiking possibilities, such as the famous Segla Peak. How
Okay.
about sitting on this edge, looking 600 meters directly into the ocean below you?
I don't know. Man, imagine living in that town there. I want to see that town there. People actually live in this incredible mountain range. Like, that's where they get to wake up and see this.
If you want to say hello to some bigger creatures,
Oh.
that's possible too.
Huh!
Senja is a must-see place if you want to visit Norway.
Oh my gosh.
So that was my top 10 tips for the most beautiful places to see in Norway. Norwegian nature can be harsh, so always remember to be properly prepared with food, clothes, and other essentials.
Wow.
Make sure to subscribe to see more of my adventures as a professional time-lapse.
Wow. Okay. There you go. That was by Morten Rustad. And I gotta give this video a like. That was so beautifully shot, this video. So many amazing things. Here we go. I wanted to go back to this again and just stare at this for a moment. Look at that. This video was so beautifully made. And I think one of the other things I loved about it so much is the recommendations in this top 10 must-see places in Norway were so well thought out. They are not tourist traps, except maybe one, kinda, but they are not touristy. They're not overrun with people. They're just peaceful, beautiful, hidden gems in Norway that I've never seen before. And I absolutely loved it. That was fantastic. I can't believe some of this stuff actually exists. Like, being in America and never seeing anything like this, except in movies and TV, like, my brain is just wired to be like, is this real? Like, did people actually live here? But yeah, it's true. That's just Norway. That's just Norway. So I enjoyed this a lot. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Norway and Norwegian culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.